Hello everyone, my name is Nurul Hasnat and I'm here to talk about youth participation or involvement in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Today, more than half of the world's population is under 30 years of age, making millennials the biggest generation of young people the world has ever seen. Being the best generations and educated generation that has ever existed, millennials have the potential to change the course of histories and lead the planet on a path to greater prosperity, peace, and ultimately achieving sustainable development. To ensure a successful implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals, young people's imagination, creativity, and idealism must be cultivated and used as a mean to achieve this dream. However, to harness the power of youth, first there is an urgent need to educate them about the importance of Sustainable Development Goals, and secondly, to provide them opportunities is to implement this through local actions. Currently, many young people are not familiar with the concept of Sustainable Development Goals and its global implications. This reinforces the needs of an initiative that should bring SDGs closer to students, teachers, and schools in a serious attempt to build consciousness and leadership around this agenda. Therefore, we need to have a vision that would include on how to generate interest about sustainable development in schools in an effort to educate and engage students with the SDGs and to encourage them to prioritize these goals in their lifestyles, behavior, education and professional careers, as this goal provides framework for a better world that children could live in futures. The aim to do this by transforming learning environment globally and making schools the hub of education and leadership on SDGs, ultimately becoming vehicles for empowering and mobilizing students and young people to help implement the SDGs in communities. The Sustainable Development Goals, which is also known as Agenda 2030, includes no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, infrastructure and innovation, reduce inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, libido, water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institution, and finally, partnership of the goals. This agreement, which is also known as 2030 Agenda, that aims to achieve 17 Sustainable Development Goals within the next 15 years, which is by 2030, has not just come in overnight. The central aim is to transform our societies and put the planet on a sustainable development and trajectories. It is extraordinary that all world governments would agree to such ambitious agenda. They are generally not good at that, but it all begins in 2012 when the United Nations begins to understand worldwide consultation to pick the top priorities as sustainable development goals. The process took several years and involved millions of people from all corners of the globe. From little village in East Kenya to the Africa, these people voted for their top priorities among a list of issues that the planets and the people faced from around the world. The MICE survey, the high level panel, the open working group, as well as thousands of different submissions from groups, individuals, forum, conferences ensure that everyone's voice is heard and no one is left behind. The United Nations then shared the results with governments, which then began a long negotiation process to identify the top priorities. This negotiation produced 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which is considered to be the most prominent issues of our times, challenges, and problems that threatens the future of our people and our planet. However, what is even more extraordinary is that despite all the expertise and planning, policymakers have almost no idea how these goals could be implemented. But what many agrees is that for the agenda to succeed, everyone, in particularly youth, must take ownership of it and spearhead the movement for change. And this is why we call youth's involvement in achieving the SDGs. And how are we going to do that? And I'm going to discuss this in my next paragraph that I'm going to speak about. As you all know, the epicenter of learning Schools plays a critical role in shaping children's knowledge, behaviors, and future prospects. Therefore, to successfully educate and engage youth on the SDGs, it is critical to transform the school environment in dynamic hub for communities' leadership and localization of the sustainable development goals. To ensure that, we need to focus on lesson plans because teachers require simple and effective digital resources to teach the SDGs. Digital lesson plans enable teachers and educators to do this without having to dedicate hours to prepare contents. We are urging countries to introduce world's largest lesson plans, a series of lesson plans equipped with necessary contents for teachers to teach the SDGs in the classrooms. We are also asking for curriculum development because many classroom schedules are tightly packed with traditional educational curriculum. Teachers often find it difficult to clear their classroom schedules to make ways for SDGs. By creating SDG curriculum guides, teachers can integrate SDGs in their existing teaching curriculum, making the process easier, simpler. A portal or a hub for students to connect with various online courses, digital apps, local initiatives from around the world to exchange information, share stories, and collaborate on joint projects and solutions, and so that we can bring it together, our so that we can start working with various schools and educators to engage active engagement of their students in SDGs and provide them with opportunities to take actions at the local level, especially to the local community level, particularly in assisting with efforts to help to make the schools SDG compliance through various initiatives and activities. Playing your part knows your goals. This is quite important because we are a generation who bears the burden of overcoming these major challenges, but it also makes us the generation that has the opportunity to be the first to make these great achievements. This makes us the most powerful generation in the history of the planet. We have the chance to end extreme poverty for good, to ensure that every person is healthy and lives to their full potential, the chance to give everyone a quality education, boys and girls alike, the chance to build resilience communities powered with renewable energies, with facilities to satisfy our basic needs of healthy nutritious food and also clean drinking water, the chance to overcome the impacts of climate change, to reduce inequalities, to ensure healthy forests and oceans, but also to make peaceful societies where everyone can live at peace. If that is not an agenda worth fighting for, then I don't know what it is to fight for. Some might tell you that the SDGs are too ambitious, that the goals are just a pipe dreams and the plans to achieve them are naive at best. However, young people have several unique qualities that allows them to dream and envision uh, this world, no matter how ambitious. Their imagination became the source of their inspirations, their creativity and energies, because they're tools for solving the puzzles that lie ahead of us. The greatest thinkers of the last millennium, Albert Einstein, Charles Darwin, Marie Curie, Isaac Newton, Harriet Tubman, Heidi Markham, Martin Luther King Jr.'s, were all in their 20s when they came up with ideas that changed their course of the histories. Is that they came up with ideas that helps them to transform the societies. These were revolutionary ideas. So the innovation of the 21st centuries lie not into the policy circles at the United Nations, but in the communities where young people's ideas are valued instead of being repressed or suppressed. The responsibility for implementations of SDGs lie with all of us, but the greatest potential for transformative change lies within each of you, young peoples, who are not just our future but also our presence. You can begin by learning the goals and teaching your family, schools, and communities about them, and you can also join different international campaigns that promote the SDGs and be part of the movements to empower youth globally to achieve the sustainable development goals. Also, like you have plenty of examples if you see around as young peoples like Malala Yousafzai or Greta Thunberg are great examples of today's. Now when the world is extremely hit by a pandemic like COVID-19, this is our high time that we come up with solutions. We come up as a community, we come up as an individuals to fight what we believe, we think that we can come up to reshape this world. So I ask every single youth, whoever you are, whatever you are, wherever you are from, which nationality, which ethnicity, which sexual orientation or color or religious ethnicities you have, start your working for the SDGs. Get yourself involved in achieving the SDGs. I am very much hopeful, and I'm pretty sure by 2020-30 we will win this. We will make a world which will be developed, which will be a world with sustainability. Thank you, that's all, and I hope that we will be able to meet some days. I'm extremely sorry that we couldn't meet due to this pandemic, but I'm very hopeful that we will overcome it because we are all together in this fight. We will overcome this very soon. Till that, stay home, stay safe. Do not forget to maintain the health precautions guided by World Health Organizations and your government. Thank you. See you. Signing off. Thank you.